Mendeecees' world was turned upside down when he discovered that his son, Lil Me, wasn't biologically his. But that was just the beginning. What happened next with Ynady Smith would have devastating consequences for everyone. Will Lil Mendeecees be able to rebuild his family after all of this? Or is it the end of everything? Stay tuned because the most shocking answers are coming your way. What happens to M. Harris when the truth hits harder than anything else? He never imagined he would face this betrayal in the way it came. Mendeecees' world was shattered when a DNA test exposed a heartbreaking truth about his son, Lil Mendeecees. The revelation was beyond devastating, something no one could have predicted. But that's not all. After uncovering Ynady Smith's affair, everything he believed about his family and his future was thrown into question. A question you won't believe when you hear the shocking truth Mendeecees was forced to confront. For years, Means Harris and Ynady Smith were one of reality TV's most beloved couples. Their relationship began on Love and Hip Hop, New York, where their bond seemed unbreakable. But the truth would soon shatter everything they thought they knew. Together, they navigated Mendeecees' legal battles and their complex family life, becoming symbols of perseverance. But nothing could prepare them for the bombshell revelation that came after the DNA test, leading Mendeecees to question everything he once believed. This moment will leave you breathless. The emotional strain was unbearable. Ynady couldn't handle the fallout from the test, which not only exposed the painful truth, but also destroyed the trust between them. The devastating consequences of that test were impossible to ignore. The bombshell that Mendeecees received from the DNA test was like a ton of bricks falling on him. Sitting there in disbelief, the reality hit him hard. As his eyes scanned the results, this moment changed everything. Mendeecees could hardly process it. It wasn't just a piece of paper, it was proof of betrayal that seemed impossible to accept. The child he raised as his own wasn't biologically his. His heart sank with pain and confusion. His mind raced. The paternity test results were devastating, but it wasn't just about the test. It was about the years of love, the sacrifices, and the bond he thought he shared with Ynady Smith and their children. He trusted her completely, and now this, the news felt like a punch to the gut. Their foundation was crumbling as Mendeecees absorbed the truth. His emotions spiraled. The impact wasn't just personal. It was a betrayal that would tear their entire family apart. How could this happen? I trusted her. I trusted the family we built, he said, his voice cracking with agony. This wasn't just about the DNA test. It was about the collapse of a life he thought he knew. His face showed disbelief, the weight of the situation too much to bear. The truth hit him harder than anything else. If the DNA test wasn't enough, the discovery of Yandy's affair added salt to the wound. Mendeecees couldn't believe it. This heartbreak wasn't just about the betrayal, it was also the crushing realization that the relationship he trusted was a lie. The truth was undeniable, and once it hit him, he started piecing together the clues. He noticed how distant Ynady had become, disappearing for hours at a time. At first, he brushed it off, thinking it was stress or the demands of life. But the suspicion gnawed at him until it couldn't be ignored. When Mendeecees found undeniable proof, text messages, and evidence of Yandy's infidelity, the shock of it all crushed him. How could the woman he trusted, the mother of his children, betray him like this? His emotions swirled, uncertainty, betrayal, and pure rage. The realization that his entire life with Ynady had been built on lies hurt even more than the affair itself. For a long time, Yandy's side of the story remained a mystery. Rumors of stress, public scrutiny, and unresolved issues clouded the truth. The disagreements between Mendeecees and Ynady were clear in certain statements. Ynady mentioned feeling emotionally cut off and detached, possibly contributing to her actions. But it was unclear whether this was a sign of weakness or a deeper issue in their relationship. Ynady responded with a mix of defensiveness and remorse. She apologized for the pain she caused but made it clear she didn't think her behavior was the sole reason for their marriage's downfall. "We were both in pain in different ways, and maybe I made mistakes, but it wasn't one-sided," she said, implying that more serious problems led to her adultery. In reality, Mendeecees was blindsided. His entire world had collapsed, and his trust in Ynady was shattered. The betrayal wasn't just about the affair, it was about years of lies and the emotional toll they took on him. Once everything was revealed, their relationship was left in ruins with no clear path forward. For years, Mendeecees had built a life with Ynady, trusting her. But the fallout from the DNA test and infidelity accusations was catastrophic. Heartbroken and betrayed, he found himself struggling to hold it together. The truth had torn their relationship apart. Mendeecees couldn't comprehend the hurt. He was torn between his love for his family and the overwhelming betrayal. As Ynady's infidelity came to light, it fueled an emotional storm of uncertainty and pain. As details of their personal life leaked, the public response only fed the fire. Once seen as a symbol of power and unity, Mendeecees and Ynady now faced intense scrutiny. Fans and critics alike had strong opinions on the situation, with many sympathizing with Mendeecees and viewing him as the betrayed victim. The children, raised in what seemed like a stable home, were now caught in the middle of the turmoil. The emotional strain on the family was undeniable. Though it's hard to predict what happens next, the aftermath of this revelation will forever change everything. The emotional strain on Mendeecees and Ynady grew heavier with each passing day. The truth hit hard, but the fallout was far from over. The children, unclear how much they understood, were caught in the chaos. As the pressures on both parents grew, the scandal took its toll, dividing Mendeecees and Yndy's extended families. Some supported Mendeecees, while others backed Ynady. The fallout was especially tough for Mendeecees. He wasn't just dealing with Yndy's betrayal, he was also facing the public's harsh judgment. The world watched, with people analyzing every detail, fueling the fire. Meanwhile, Ynady found herself in a difficult position. Fans began questioning her role in the failure of their relationship. Her supporters were divided. Some sympathized, understanding the complexities of their relationship, while others were harsher, accusing her of betraying Mendeecees and their family. The revelation sent social media into a frenzy. Hashtags associated with the scandal spread like wildfire as fans dissected every move. Every action of the couple was under intense scrutiny. The public response was split. Some backed Mendeecees, believing he had been betrayed, while others questioned whether the public revelations were necessary or simply adding fuel to the fire. It was clear the drama had captured the public's attention. Mendeecees' emotional toll became evident. Though his reaction was harsh, it was understandable given the circumstances. The revelation would have long-lasting effects on his personal life and how the public perceived his relationship with Ynady. The betrayal of trust, the foundation of any relationship, had been shattered. For Mendeecees, it wasn't just about the DNA test results. It was the years of love, emotional investment, and trust that now seemed pointless. Having his family life and heart questioned was a devastating blow. The results of the DNA test didn't just expose a paternity issue, they revealed long-overlooked cracks in Mendeecees and Yndy's marriage. The deeper issue was the breakdown of trust and communication between them. The paternity question was merely the catalyst. The real problems had been brewing beneath the surface for a long time. The infidelity, whether emotional or physical, wasn't just one mistake. It was the outward manifestation of much deeper issues in their marriage. The personal betrayal magnified the public spectacle, leaving the world to question whether their relationship had ever been based on a solid foundation, or if it had all been an illusion. When comparing Mendeecees and Yndy's situation to those of other celebrities, the emotional harm was exacerbated. The world watched as their personal turmoil played out in real time, and Mendeecees' emotional suffering was exposed to the public eye. The intensity of the public scrutiny made it even harder to cope with. Infidelity often exposes deeper issues in relationships, issues that may have been there all along, hidden under the surface, waiting to be revealed. In both celebrity marriages and those of regular people, infidelity is rarely just about one act of betrayal. Whether it's a lack of communication, unmet emotional needs, or personal struggles, the consequences go much deeper. In Mendeecees and Yndy's case, their affair wasn't just a mistake. It revealed a sign of much larger issues, many of which had been left unaddressed for far too long. The emotional roller coaster Mendeecees has endured since discovering Yndy's infidelity and the devastating paternity test results has completely turned his life upside down. The hurt and betrayal still feel fresh, raw, and unrelenting. The pain is so deep, it's impossible to predict what the future holds for Mendeecees and Ynady. Will this be the end of their relationship and partnership? Or could this dark moment serve as the impetus for recovery and reconstruction? The trust that was once the cornerstone of their bond has been shattered beyond repair, and nothing will ever be the same. How they proceed from here will define the next chapter of their lives, and that path could lead to healing or an irreversible collapse. But the real question that lingers is, should Mendeecees find it in his heart to forgive Ynady and attempt to move on? Or is this betrayal too great to overcome? Can love conquer such a devastating wound, Or is this a scar too deep to ever heal? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below as we discuss whether betrayal can truly be overcome by love or if some wounds are simply too severe to repair.